Hi, hello. My name is Edgar Luna, and I serve as a pastor in Benton Harris Spanish Church and also as an associate pastor in Bering Springs Spanish Church. I work for the Mission Conference, and being part of the CCC program has been a blessing in my life. Accepting the call for ministry or to ministry wasn't easy for me. I come from a family that has been part of the church for so many years. My grandfather was a pastor. My dad worked as a treasurer for a conference in Mexico. So being involved in a pastor's family or ministerial family wasn't easy for me. I remember growing up, our life was very challenged, and we have a lot of challenges as a pastor family or as a leadership family. So I decided not to go in that route because I didn't want to live that life for me. So I decided to go and study music instead. But when I was doing that, I just realized that God had called me for a bigger purpose. So I started to pray about it, and it was until I finished a master's in music when I received a calling to be a pastor. Even though I was not involved as a pastor, I was a very influential leader in my churches. And I feel that God had a plan for me, and this plan involved to bring a new vision for the church, specifically for the ministry and how ministry should be done. So that is why I accepted to be a pastor, and also to prepare myself as a one studying the MDiv at Andrews University. So this is how I accepted God's plans for me, and I don't regret have take that decision because right now God is showing me that it was the right thing to do. Growing up in the church wasn't easy for me, specifically because I grew up in a place where I can see that in the church members, they knew everything about God. They knew the Bible. But the hardest part for me, it was that the way that they treated people and the way that they behaved was very contrary to whatever we were reading or saying. So I feel that this motivated me to try to make a difference in that way. In the Bible, Jesus says that we need to worship in spirit and truth. And I feel that we can know the truth as the knowledge, but the spirit could be the way that we relate to others. My motivation as a pastor is to try to correlate those two different things and to reach them and have a church that can be knowledgeable, but also that can be loving. And I feel that can make a difference in our communities, in our families, and also in our ministry. And one of my dreams is to make every church where I'm at a place where people can learn about the Bible, but also can apply it. Well, since I started ministry, I can say that I've learned a lot of lessons, but I can mention two very important to me. The first one is that I've learned that there's a difference between authority and influence. As a pastor, in whatever church, in whatever context, you have given authority. And this authority comes from God in the first place, but also comes from the conference. But having authority doesn't mean that you can influence the church, because influence not comes by authority. Influence comes by love. There's a lot of pastors that they use their authority to run the church, and the church runs, but they run disconnected. In these years of ministry, I've learned that loving your church members can be a transformative way to ministry to them. And also, when they are being loved, they learn how to love others. So this is the first idea that has transformed my life. Also, the second idea that has transformed my ministry has been that it's not the same to have wisdom and information. So basically, when you go and study theology or you read books, you get the information, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be wise. So the wisdom comes only to be connected to God. And being in ministry is not easy because there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of problems and situations that require more than information. And learn that just depending on how God can make the difference has been one of the most transformative ways to go forward and move forward in ministry. Well, for me, it's very interesting that God surprises me every day in ministry, or almost every day in ministry. And being in this church is one of these amazing surprises that I had as a pastor. When I was called to serve in Benton Harbor Spanish, there was a big challenge in this church. To begin with, it was not even a church, it was a company. And this company had between 12 to 15 members. This company has been trying to get solid in maybe around 19 years, and it hasn't been possible. When I was called to serve here, it was kind of the last resource that the conference was doing for this company. When I was assigned to this company, they told me that this company will be very difficult, and if this didn't work, that I didn't have to feel bad because maybe this company was about to get dissolved. So when I was placed here, I just started to pray and ask the Lord, I know, Lord, that it seems to be like very hard challenge for me right now, but this is whatever you want for Benton Harbor. What are your dreams for this church in specific? So after praying, I came here and I invited the church to be in line with God, to start to look for God's direction and to ask God what He wanted from us instead of what we want from this church. So the miracle happened. After the first year that we started to pray and to work in the unity of the church started to grow. And in the first year, we were able to have 10 new baptisms for the praise of God. After the first year, the Lord blessed us with this beautiful building, because Benton Harbor was meeting on a rented church with a lot of limitations. So we were not able to serve the community or to have community projects because we were not able to rent the space for it, and we were not allowed. But God had a plan for us. And I feel that the testimony of this church and how Benton Harbor is growing now is one of the biggest, it has been one of the biggest blessings that I can see as a pastor. And it had impacted me in a way that I know that God has to do much more in this place, and we're going to be able to fulfill His wishes for us. I feel one of the biggest challenge of being a pastor is try to be perfect. I don't know why, but in the ministry culture or the culture of ministry, we all tend to be perfect, to have the best sermons, to live the perfect life, and we forget that God has called us because we are humans and we're limited. I feel one of the most biggest struggles for me was not able to be open and real about my life, and that led me to try to live under the expectations of others, the members of the church, my colleagues, even from the conference. I felt in one point of my ministry alone. I felt empty, and I felt that I wasn't being real, not even with myself. And this is when I see God's hand working in my life, because in that moment I was able to receive help from the CCC, the Center for Community Change. When I started my mentorship, I started to realize that I was not alone, and that I can be real with other people, and that they were open to help me out even in my deepest and darkest moments. So I feel that one of my challenges always has been this, try to live up to the expectations, but now with this new approach of ministry, I'm able to accept myself and also to accept that God called me because I'm different. and also to be open to help others in their journey and also in ministry, because ministry could be very a lonely place for every person that is on this area. So I know that God has put people in our lives that surround us and that help us to continue and to improve in order to can share God's love to others. After 3 years of ministry, um, I came to be in a place very dark in my life. I was trying to demonstrate that I was worth it as a pastor, but that took me to neglect myself. Um, there was a moment when I had a bad health issue. I had a pre-stroke that led me in a very difficult place for me. And in that moment, when everything went down, I felt lonely. I felt that nobody cared about me. I felt that what I was doing, it was worthless. And I remember one time in that season in my ministry, I was able to go to one presentation of the Center for Community Change. And I was expecting that they will be talking about like plans or programs, but what I heard from the presenter was something that I was living. He mentioned how I was feeling in that time, and he bring hope whenever he told us that ministry could be different. So after this conversation, or after this talk, I went and talked to this person, and I told him like, hey, do you know, I'm in this point in ministry that I'm even thinking into quit ministry. By the grace of God, it was the right time and the right moment, because he connected me with a program. And being part of the program has bring a lot of new concepts and new ways to go forward in ministry. So it has brought a lot of peace, but also a lot of awareness. And also, I have been able to learn and how to teach these principles to other pastors. I know that ministry is not easy, and it's a very lonely way of work sometimes could be. But now with the Center for Community Change, I've been able to find a place where I can trust in other people, where I can learn, and where I can grow. One of the principles that has helped me the most in my ministry from the Center for Community Change to apply in my life, I think has been one that all pastors struggle with. That is self-care. I remember coming into my ministry with zero experience, trying to do everything and to fix everything and to do everything in my power to can live into the expectations of others, leaving my health, my peace, my rest, my family even to a side. I came after 3 years of ministry. I wasn't able even to take some vacations or time off because I wanted it to prove others that I was worth it or enough as a pastor. But the problem was that it came to a point that my body wasn't able to take it anymore. So I was very sick, and I got on a very bad season in my health. I feel this principle, it's even not just transform my life, but transform my way to see ministry. Because how you're gonna be able to take care of somebody if you're not able to take care of yourself? In the Bible, we can see that when Elijah was very frustrated, and also he was tired and burned out, the Bible says that the angel of the Lord came and gave him food, and he rested. And he did that twice, and then was able to keep with his mission that he had in that moment. I feel that as a pastors, it's very hard for us to learn this, but we must to do, because if not, we can get burned out from all the work and the stress and all the situations that we need to deal with. This is why this principle fix a lot of the other ones that we're studying and practicing in the Center for Community Change. Because whenever you're good with yourself, you're able to take care of others. And I feel that as a pastor now, that is one of my priorities, to take care of myself in order to take care of other ones. In my experience, I can say that the way that God keeps me on the line is when I have big dreams for His church. Because it's in this way that He performs all the miracles that I'm not able to do. I have a lot of limitations, but when it comes to the mission, I always dream big. And this is the place where God shows and makes miracles that we're not able to imagine. It's interesting because for this church, we have been praying for a place that we can serve. And the way that we found this church is a big testimony, and the way that now we're serving in this church shows that is not because of our resources, it's not because of our ability, it's because God and His mercy shows every time. So the way that I can keep on trusting God is to keep on placing the ministry and keep on placing the ideas and plans that we have for this church and let Him to show up. And that's the way that we can every time to see how He is still working with us, and that He is open to help us out and to finish this work that He has encommended us. Well, one advice or one of the things that I can share with somebody that is starting ministry is to be vulnerable and open. Because I feel this is the key to live a very healthy ministry. Whenever you need help, just look for it. Whenever you feel that you're not doing okay, just share that with somebody and look for somebody to can be acquaintance with. In the Bible, I remember the journey of Paul from Caesarea to Rome. He was put in jail, but the journey, he was not by himself. He was surrounded by people. And I feel in the journey of ministry, also God places people and also institutions like the Center for Community Change that accompany us, that can be the companion for us. And that companion can be the way that God shows up His love and mercy and His presence. Whenever we feel discouraged, we can find somebody that can pray for us. When we feel sad, there can be somebody that can listen to us. And when we are open and when we're vulnerable, I feel that God is more able to work and transform us and to keep on growing the things that we need to grow in order to feed the church. When the church sees a pastor that is real, not a Superman, they're also being inspired by you, and they want to have whatever you have for them. So in this case, I'll pray that whatever pastor that is outside, that is suffering, struggling, that he can be open to look for help and that know that he's not alone, and that ministry can be fun and enjoyable. So there are two things that I want you to take out as a part of my testimony. The first one is that you're not alone, that God has provided help for you to help you in your personal life, but also in your ministry, to help you out to grow in your family, in your spiritual life, and in your church, and that you're not alone and you're not walking alone. The second thing that I want to highlight also is that you can experience the miracles of God in today's ministry. I'm standing right now in the church, that when I came here 2 years ago, there was not a lot of hope for this church. there were only 12 members, and today we're almost 35 every week. We have been 45, but the regular attendance is around 35. These members, they have learned how to love God and others, and they have been serving to the community through different ways. We have give out advisories for immigrants. We have also give English classes, guitar lessons, food pantries, and the church is serving, and God keep on doing miracles in our church. So I know that in your ministry you can also see God performing miracles, and your life can be a testimony for others about the love and the power of God working in your life. Blessings.